looking to throw it, and he's got the touchdown! Here's Brady's pass. It's Gronkowski! Oh, Max strips it! He is unbelievable!
Welcome to the Tabor Gridiron Podcast, Week 3 of football. Well, it's been a fun Week 3 of football. I don't know about you. I have enjoyed every moment of it. But hey, that's why you're tuning in and listening, because you probably didn't get to see anything, and Isaac and I get to get you caught up, and what you should look at, or, just kind of skip over. Maybe the Bears, maybe we should skip over that. I don't know. Isaac is here with me.
Yep, I am.
And you know what? I guess we can start with the Bears. We kind of, talked about it a little bit last week. All week, it's been crazy here in Chicago of people talking about who's going to be starting, and then Justin Fields does get the start, and this is going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. It was a rough time. Now, the Bears totally just got their butts whooped. Is it Justin Fields' fault? I don't know. What are your first just impressions of the Bears here?
So my first impressions aren't good, and I think you're right that we should do it first just to get it over with. And I think Justin Fields, not gonna lie, I do not think he lived up to the hype, because I think everybody was looking for. Now here's my personal take. I feel that the Bears fans, we haven't had a really good quarterback ever since. Jay Cutler was a stretch, I would say, but ever since Jay Cutler, we've kind of just been going downhill, and we've never really had a good quarterback. And I think what people want is they always look for the new rookie, and they're always like, ooh, can we get a new Lamar Jackson, a new Patrick Mahomes? But the reality is those are kind of one in a million. You're not going to get that many Patrick Mahomes out there. And I think the Bears fans, they really want one, and they just want to kind of slap that label onto pretty much anything and give it as much hype as possible. And I feel that almost kind of made things worse for Justin Fields, because now he felt like he had to live up to this kind of expectation, even though realistically he had no shoes to fill. There was no really good quarterback that came before him. We have cases before, with Drew Brees retiring, Jameis Winston has big shoes to fill, and honestly, this game he filled them, and we'll get to that later. But I think Justin Fields, he really people kind of put a lot of pressure on him to be this kind of majestic quarterback and live up to some of the greatest quarterbacks ever, when realistically, I don't think he is that. And he might become one of that, but he is not that right now. And so, honestly, I just feel like that almost kind of made him worse off, because people kind of put that much pressure on him, and he felt like he had shoes to fill, which, honestly, those shoes never even existed. So he really we almost set him up to fail.
I agree. I think that was well said, Isaac. I like the kid. I think he does have potential. I think that he can be a great quarterback. He has the athletic ability. He definitely just needs the experience and the gameplay. And, is he going to be that Patrick Mahomes? Probably not. Can he be a great quarterback? I really do think so. I see that difference already, especially in the preseason, even just the difference with Trubisky, where Fields had that vision, and he was seeing the plays, he was seeing the field. This game, he was sacked 9 times. And I want to just, move quickly past, the Bears. Forget the Bears. Let's just go to, you got a rookie quarterback. It could be any team right now. You threw a rookie quarterback in to start, and then you didn't help him out at all. Getting sacked 9 times and countless times being pushed over, the pressure, no quarterback is going to succeed. Hats off to the kid for getting up play after play after play. He played the whole game getting just pounded. The guy's got guts for sure. But when you have Myles Garrett sacking you 4.5 times, when the defense is sacking you 9 times, what in the world is the coaching staff doing? How do you sit there and watch that? How are you not changing plays? How are you not double teaming Garrett? How are you not calling plays that go to Fields' strengths and help him get the ball out quickly, or just change things up a bit? I really felt that Nagy wants him to be this pocket quarterback that's really not who Fields is or is really going to be. Andy Dalton has that experience right now to stand in the pocket, throw the ball out fast. Great. If that's your game plan, change it up then. Second quarter, after halftime. How does Nagy sit there and keep calling plays that allow him to just get pounded? We've talked about this before, Isaac. You have Cutler, you have, Nick Foles in there, Trubisky, now we got Fields, and they're all struggling. You then have Mark Trestman as a coach. You got John Fox. We got Matt Nagy, and it's the same thing, in and out. So is it really the quarterback? Is it really the coaching? I don't think Nagy should be calling the plays, but I think Nagy's a good coach. I think he has the vision, and he has he can make things happen. So is it upper management holding everybody? How are the Bears the same in and year out with different quarterbacks and different coaches?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think you're right about that, and I think you're right about the upper management, because the thing is, almost all of these, what a lot of these quarterbacks have in common so I know some of them, they like to run, other ones like to stay in the pocket, but I know one thing. The upper management and coaching is all trying to construct these quarterbacks into their vision of a perfect quarterback, and they're not really letting them be the quarterback that they really are. Like Justin Fields, they're trying to make him be a pocket quarterback when he's clearly better on the run. Like, you can't just try to make a quarterback something that they aren't. Like, you can't just try to, honestly, like I said, you can't make Justin Fields a Patrick Mahomes. He has to be his own unique quarterback. He has to have his own unique style. He has to have his own unique
Agreed.
play calls.
I mean, you can learn new things. You can learn new strengths.
Exactly.
And but you really can't change what their internal style is. Like, if you imagine just right now, and you strictly tell Lamar Jackson, you can only be a Tom Brady pocket quarterback. You got to get the ball out fast. You stay in your pocket. You only kind of wiggle and move a few times if you need to, but that's it. Jackson would struggle. Jackson's game is running 60, 100 yards a game, jumping, throwing the ball, getting out of there, and playing his game. And the Ravens realize that. And we've talked about just how great of an athlete Jackson is, which is why he's so good. He's not just this amazing quarterback, and he would struggle. And the Ravens have built things around him and his strengths. I mean, just think about how much he would struggle if you said, hey, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you're right about that. And the thing with the Bears that they should really be doing is, instead of just looking to yourself to find answers, they should look at other teams that have been successful. And one of those teams I think they should look at, which has kind of gone under the radar, but once I kind of did a little bit of digging, found they are like a powerhouse, the Chargers, and how they have the new rookie Justin Herbert. They should look at that and think and make some new play calls, because Justin Herbert was insane this last game. This is
his second year, right? Yeah. So he got thrown in last year. This is his second year. He's the legit starter. And I agree with you. Like, where did this kid come from?
Exactly. And last year we could all agree he did really good, but as hard as he tried, he somehow ended up always losing.
I know. I felt bad for the kid.
I felt very bad. Although this year, things are going to change, because he played really well, except this time he won. And not just against anyone. He beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And that is just a statement in and of itself. Beating Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs is a rare feat and something that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are 2-1 right now. It's been a lot of fun to watch them, and I agree. You thought, I felt bad last year when he really fought hard and then lost so many games. And this week, I mean, he fought hard. The Chiefs came back, made it a game, and Herbert was just on fire. And I'm excited for the kid, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure.
For the Chargers to take that game. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, even though, they did lose, he did break a record, 15,000 passing yards. He's the fastest to get to 15,000 passing yards. And you can say, oh, yeah, it's a young career. Is that really that big of a record? I'm saying that in the sense, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be breaking records. I mean, he's won Super Bowls already. I mean, he's got the skills and the ability. We're going to see him in the next, who knows, if he plays 20 years like Tom Brady, we're going to see a lot of records broken from this kid, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But what I saw from the Chargers and some of the mistakes that Mahomes made, he's always going to be Mahomes, and he's going to make fantastic plays. But defenses are starting to, a player comes into the NFL, and I've seen it over and over, year in and year out, of they have a special skill or ability, or even you could take like Lamar Jackson. Nobody knew what to do with him. Devin Hester years ago, nobody knew really what to do with him. And then they start to figure things out. Mahomes, he's always going to be fantastic, but the defenses are starting to kind of figure out some of his gameplay, starting to figure out how he's scrambling and his no-look passes and how he's launching the ball. And the Chargers kind of really did have his number. There were some uncharacteristic plays that, Mahomes usually succeeds at, that the Chargers totally disrupted or intercepted. It was a great game, a lot of fun, and it's going to be cool to see. I mean, the Chiefs are 1-2.
Oh, yeah, they are. So it's honestly, that's a record that I did not think they would start off with. And also, speaking of records broken, Justin Tucker, the kicker for the Ravens, actually broke the field goal record with a staggering 66-yard field goal.
Wow. I when I saw this, it was, first of all, Tucker's been in the game for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. That was a crazy game. And 66 yards, it did hit the post. So it literally hit the center upright and then bounced off of that and bounced in. I mean, he barely made it. It was epic, but it was also the game winner. To go in the history books, to break the record, and to win the game, win on the bounce like that. I mean, it could have hit the bar and bounced out. It was just great all the way around.
It was great all the way around. It was beautiful.
It's a great record setting for sure. On the flip side, there was kind of a record tie, but what I think is funny about it is when you go to the Jacksonville and the Arizona Cardinals game, and there was a 109-yard touchdown return, but it was off of a 68-yard missed field goal. So they attempted a 68-yard field goal, which would have shattered the record if he would have made it. So he kicks that, it's short. Jacksonville gets it, 109 yards, runs it back for the touchdown. So he's tied for the longest touchdown play, which was a lot of fun. And then you got Justin Tucker breaking and setting a record with a 66-yard field goal made. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure. And another thing I wanted to highlight. So, like I said about Justin Herbert, if you watched our podcast last week, I said that he was a quarterback that I wanted to highlight and I wanted to look at. And honestly, I was right. Although you were right about the team that was going to get defeated first of the undefeated teams.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't think that Tom Brady was going to lose, but it's football. It's why we watch it week in and week out. And I did mention, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if the Bucs lose, the Rams take it? The Rams are undefeated right now, and they totally, just took that game. And so the Bucs, they're 2-1. You got the Rams that are just on fire. And speaking of just, a highlight quarterback, I circled it. And right now, the player for me for this week, you can go into fantasy football. We'll mention that in a second here as well, as far as points. But my standout quarterback this week was Matthew Stafford. We're Bears fans, Isaac. We've seen the Lions play for years and struggle. And you see Matthew Stafford and you're like, okay, he's a pretty good quarterback. Oh, the team just stinks around him. I have never seen Matthew Stafford play the way that he's been playing, and especially this game. This was a huge game for him to go up against the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, and to play the way that he played was fantastic. But it also goes to show you, is it just a quarterback or is it just a coach? And here you got Tom Brady, fantastic, amazing quarterback that can go from the Patriots to the Bucs, makes everybody on that team better. It's also coaching and other players. But then you take a good quarterback who is struggling with a team and you put him in a team that is succeeding. They have a great defense. They have players around him. And look how Stafford is succeeding. It really is a team sport and a team effort. And it's really cool. I'm excited to see the growth of Matthew Stafford. And he was just, lights out. It was great.
It was. And honestly, he did a lot of great things. And like on the Lions, it really, like you said, it really goes to show how it can just completely alter a team.
All right, Isaac, it is that time.
It is that time.
And, hey, 60 seconds. Can we do it?
What's the score? Nothing. What's the score here?
What's the score? What's the score, What's the score?
Time for Scores in 60.
It is time for Scores in 60. Isaac, got my timer here.
Oh, boy.
Set, go.
The Panthers beat the Texans 24-9, a great game. The Browns completely obliterated the Bears 26-6. Titans beat the Colts 25-16. The Falcons beat the Giants with a field goal 17-14. The Chargers beat the Chiefs, great game, 30-24. The Bengals beat the Steelers 24-10. The Cardinals beat the Jaguars 31-19, great game, awesome. Bills beat the Washington football team, man, they need a new name, 43-21. Broncos beat the Jets with a goose egg 26-0. Rams beat the Buccaneers 34-24. Vikings beat the Seahawks 30-17. And Packers beat the 49ers 30-28.
Whoa, we got like 15 seconds to spare. Nice job.
Thank you.
Getting better on that. I hope you guys are able to follow. Yeah, you're flying through, and that's great. Hope you caught all your scores there. And, that's our goal. So every week we want to have Isaac do Scores in 60 and see, and you can tune in and get your, if you missed a score or you missed who won, check it out. So last couple minutes here, we want to make sure that we're keeping this short for you guys. And Sunday Night Football, great. Oh man, Sunday Night Football. If you're going to look up any type of highlights, well, really, if you're going to look up any highlights, I would suggest the Justin Tucker field goal and the 109-yard touchdown return. But Sunday Night Football was a great game. I'm not a Packers fan. I was really hoping for the 49ers to take the game and to win. They fought hard. Great game. It came down to the wire. All I'm going to say is the end of the game, the 49ers had a chance to kind of run out the clock as much as possible, score a touchdown. You do not want to give Aaron Rodgers time on the other side. And I felt like the 49ers, they had 3 timeouts and they were moving too fast. And they looked like they were rushing. And I was just like, slow down. Like, you got timeouts. You got plenty of time. They end up scoring the touchdown. They still have timeouts, and they give Aaron Rodgers 37 seconds. Most guys, you say, oh, man, 49ers won the game. I sat there and I was like, great, Packers won. And you guys are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we've seen this time and time again. All it takes is a couple plays to Devontae Adams and Packers win. Lo and behold, what happens? Couple plays to Devontae Adams. Okay, I'm sorry. If you were the 49ers defense, step up. Stop Adams. Why is Adams catching 2 huge passes? Double team the guy. Make somebody else step up and have to win the game. And, yep, of course, guess what? Packers win it. Next week, Isaac, Tom Brady
going to
New England.
Oh,
this is going to be epic. On a Sunday night, this is going to be epic. You got Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champions going to Foxborough to play the Patriots and Bill Belichick. Last couple words here.
That is going to be a great game, and I am excited. And if you saw the Sunday night game, you could see the little preview. It was called The Storm is Brewing, and the storm is brewing. It is going to be an exciting game. Well, we are looking forward to that, and I am excited to share it with you guys. We will see you next week. Goodbye.